If you've been playing RAFA Melee, you've probably noticed flying bosses can be a bit of a pain. What if I told you there was a way to make beating flying enemies, including bosses, 10 times easier? Well, welcome back guys, I'm Edak, and today's video is the #1 tip you need to know as RAFA Melee. Now, some of you may have heard this tip already since I mentioned it in my Ultimate Vault Hunter 5 build video, but I do think it deserves a video of its own. For the video, I will be dubbing the technique as jump tapping. So if you hear me say jump tap or jump tapping, the technique is what I'm referring to. So jump tapping is a technique that allows RAFA to stick to flying enemies. So to perform this technique, all you need to do is attack and jump immediately after pressing the input for your attack button. So for instance, if you're on controller and you're hitting the right trigger, you hit right trigger and jump immediately after, 0.1, 0.2 seconds after. Jump tapping works well with the built-in dash that RAFA has, and it's what allows you to stick to enemies. But not only will this help you with flying enemies, it will also help you fighting bosses that aren't flying, and I'll explain that. Okay, so like I described, this will help you out a ton when attacking flying enemies. This allows you to stick onto them, keep consistent attacks until either they move a good distance away or go back to the ground. That, or if you end up missing an attack and you dash past the enemy, obviously it's going to kind of break the movement. Jump tapping really helps mend the disadvantage you feel with RAFA when you're playing a full melee character. So if you're playing a full melee, I really suggest you make use of this technique. It's going to make playing RAFA, the quality of life at least, feel a lot better. So as you can see in some of these clips and the clips I've been playing, I'm sticking onto the flying enemies, and really all you're doing is attacking and jumping. And how RAFA's dash works is it allows you to stick on top of the enemy. But jump tapping isn't just good for sticking onto flying enemies, it actually lets you avoid a lot of damage, especially in certain boss fights. So many bosses have slam attacks like Timekeeper, Backhive, Shadow Pelt, Queen Callus. These slam attacks typically do a bunch of damage, and as you can see in this Queen Callus breakdown, I don't take any damage from her fire attack because I'm maintaining my height by jump tapping. Here's another clip of me not jump tapping, and you can see I take major damage. So I just want to repeat again, this strategy is not only good for sticking to flying enemies, but also avoiding staying off the ground and helping with the Timekeeper shock, the Shadow Pelt shock, the Queen Callus fire attacks. All these slam attacks that do a bunch of damage, you can avoid by jump tapping. I do want to say this technique isn't perfect though, so I'll highlight some of the disadvantages now. First, it works the best if you are either above or close to an even height with your enemy. RAFA has a really hard time climbing vertically with his attacks, so gaining the height by either double jumping or you climb on an object next to the boss before attacking is kind of the key to maintaining your jump tap. But actually some bosses have this function built in. For example, if you're fighting the evolved Timekeeper, he has those triangles that you can stand on, and then you can climb to above or at least a similar height to him and attack him from there. This also works with Inceptus, who drops the flower blooms from the ceiling and allows you to attack the cocoon. So for it to work best, try to get to as close to the same height as the enemy you are fighting as possible so you can effectively jump tap. The second and final disadvantage I've found with jump tapping is it doesn't work well if RAFA doesn't dash. For instance, in my Inceptus example, RAFA doesn't actually dash when you're attacking Inceptus in his cocoon. So because of this, you can't maintain the height. RAFA dashing is essential to jump tapping. I'm not sure if this is just how RAFA's dashes are coded, where he doesn't dash when attacking certain bosses in their defensive state. I'm not sure, but if RAFA isn't dashing, you won't be able to jump tap. That's really all you need to know. Well, that basically covers it. I wanted to try and keep this video short and sweet so you guys can utilize this tip in your gameplay. So hopefully jump tapping will help some of you melee players out. If you guys enjoyed the content, want to see more content, consider liking, it helps out the algorithm, and consider subscribing, as I'm just getting going and hopefully we'll put out more content that you guys will enjoy. Thanks for watching guys. As always, peace out.